Okay, welcome back to whatever this is. Jeff's calling it Throating Thrones, episode 2. We're going to jump right in. This is YouTube, so you know exactly what to do. This episode of Game of Thrones is entitled
Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Wow. Want to say that again?
I barely made it through that one. This is just episode 69.
Yeah, it was
and we all know why. Right, Arya?
So,
that's got to be really nasty back in those days. Nobody's really clean.
Shut up.
Okay.
Shut up. This is episode 2 of whatever this is called. Jeff's calling it Throating Thrones. And we're just going to jump right in. And this episode 2 was kind of okay. It felt really Star Trek-y to me. A lot of forced exposition, putting people where they want. Just, I don't know, it didn't get me that much.
This episode reminded me of the final episode of like a long-running anime or something. Basically, they took all the characters, put them together in one spot, and set everything up for the final battle. So all of the threads and all of the little story elements that were scattered throughout the entire show all came together in this episode.
I thought that the episode knew that. It was aware that it wanted to do that to us.
It felt like that contrived. But, I mean, it is like another like table setting type of episode where we know we're going to get a lot less dialogue probably in the next 2 episodes.
Yeah.
This might be the last chance that we see some of these characters together. So I get it. I mean, I did enjoy seeing some of the characters get to reminisce, like Hound and Arya. Like, I enjoyed that scene. But, I don't know, it was a little too much comic relief, too much nostalgia.
Yeah, I thought someone was going to walk into like a low-hanging ceiling, and we're going to be like, Dunk. We're just going to see that happen.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm not saying it was a bad episode. I'm just saying a lot of the things didn't necessarily feel like Game of Thrones.
Because honestly, imagine being locked in a house with a whole bunch of your friends or enemies or whatever, and the world is about to end, or a giant army of people with guns is about to come try to kill you, and you know you only have like maybe a couple hours to live.
Yeah.
Everybody's ready. There's no more preparing for the battle. It's just time to like hang out, drink, BS until we all die.
I bet you after the series end and I rewatch the whole thing, I'm going to be completely fine with the episode because it's just going to be what it is.
You're 100% right about it being like the episode was very aware of what it was doing.
Yeah.
But I think we needed this little episode before the giant war.
Well, we had some cool moments. Like when everyone's kind of arming themselves up, Arya finally gets her weapon. We find out it's a staff or a halberd, whatever we're going to call it, with the blade.
But there was another weapon.
Which other one?
She didn't get the other blueprint, did she?
I don't think so.
I think that it separates.
Okay.
I think because that's why, I mean, I think with her throwing those dragon glass like spearheads, I think that's showing us that she can also use like a ranged weapon. So I think we're expecting.
Well, we
it to
know
be a
that
staff.
she has a bow, so they should definitely put dragon glass on the tip of these arrows.
Yeah.
Which, hold on, I want to talk about one thing. Does Daenerys not know that the dragon came back? Because she definitely saw it die, but I don't know if she knows that it's back to life.
Well, yeah, right? I mean, Tormund knows. You think he would share that bit of information, but...
Does he know?
Yeah, because he was at the wall when the
dragon destroyed it?
Yeah.
I'm like 76.9% sure that Daenerys knows that
If that's the fact that she's floundering everyone over... Because when they're planning everything, you go there, and they don't have a dragon, so we'll be fine. That dragon is gonna murderlize their whole front lines. What's the point of having a flank?
No, they have the giant arrow launcher aimed at the dragon skull in the crypts.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Dude, it's in the crypts, so they're gonna wait for the stupid dragon to bust open the crypts.
They probably already took it out. You don't watch the intro.
There's an intro in this.
The intro where they go into the catacombs, you see the dragon launcher, the giant arrow that takes out the dragons, the one that brought the dragon down to begin with.
The scorpion, I think it's called.
Yeah,
yeah,
like pointed at a dragon skull in the crypts.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, speaking of the crypts,
That might be in. Now I'm thinking that might be in King's Landing, but
it is in King's Landing. That's 100% in there.
And then I think the dragon destroyed it during that battle. He landed and he smashed it with his tail because he was pissed.
Yeah.
But there's one in the intro, so it should still be there. The wall's destroyed in the intro too, but
I don't know. But since you said the crypt, Why are they putting everyone in the crypt? What do we know about the Night King? He raises the dead. He likes children. You're putting literally the children and the dead in a walled-off tomb.
He likes children.
Well, he does.
He likes, yeah.
Wait, hold on. Yes,
He can. Okay, so I don't think that he's going to raise the dead in the crypts because.
Why not?
Because he has to touch them in
I
order
don't
to reanimate
think he has
them, right?
to touch them.
Yes, I think he does. Because I think what's going to happen, the even more evil thing is, I think he's going to breach the crypt and he's going to turn all of the children that are down there.
For fun?
Yeah, because that's what he was doing with Gilly's father, I guess, when they were giving the Night King
Yeah, he was sacrificing.
I guess because it's a child, he could convert them when they're that young. So I have a feeling that's what's going to happen.
What's the point of that? Then you have to raise a White Walker kid. Imagine that, like, no, don't go near the fire, Jorglin.
He's got to get past that little girl, though. She's like,
Yeah,
I'll defend the
that's
crypts.
true.
She will defend the crypts. I'm glad that they didn't give her a weapon, so she's just dead.
She'll be fine. She's going to kneecap him.
No, but what I'm trying to say is it's Game of Thrones. They kept saying the words, they'll be safe in the crypt. It's remember when Windows 10 first came out, it said, don't worry, all your files are safe. That's exactly what something will say if all your files weren't safe. They're doing the same thing. Go in the crypt, you'll be perfectly fine.
Imagine
no trap.
Imagine a zombie movie where everybody's running and you're the squad that hides in the graveyard. You just start digging a hole. All right, everybody get in this hole, in this graveyard. We'll all be all right.
Yeah, I think other than, I don't want to say forced exposition, other than the campy dialogue, which was okay. I think I'm going to say okay. I think they added the different type of symbols. We had exactly what we just said for the crypt, but I also want to talk about the scene where Brienne gets knighted. That was a really powerful scene because, you know, I mean, everyone's kind of half drunk, but Jaime said, well, any knight, any honorable knight, I guess, can knight another one. So he, convinces Brienne to come with, and he looks over to her, and I thought that was such a powerful scene because Jaime went through what it's like to be a knight, and it was emotional from two levels because Brienne she was kind of saying that she didn't really want to be a knight, but you could clearly tell she wants it. That's her whole life. And Jaime is retelling what it's like to be a knight. Like, I charge you to be honorable, and I charge you to, stick up for the innocent. And I feel like he was reliving all the mess ups he did for Cersei when he was the Golden Lion, pushing a kid out the window and crippling him, is not looking out for the innocent, having sex with your sister's not really honorable, just doing all these horrible things in the name of whatever. He was basically reliving and saying, like, wow, I'm a terrible knight. And Brienne literally was the picture of a perfect knight.
Yeah,
she just wasn't knighted.
Right, and she's been exemplifying that throughout the entire
whole
series.
Loyalty, everything.
And I think that gives Jaime some form of redemption by acknowledging her honorable
and saying, I want to
creed.
serve you. I want you
Yeah.
to be the commander. Mm-hmm. Now, I think that there's a symbol hidden in there. So Jaime said any knight can do it. I know that this is more of a pun, but the enemy's also known as the Night King. I feel him dubbing her and saying, you're the knight, and seeing her smile, which was half creepy and half funny, because she's like,
I felt like she was a different person because that was the first time I've ever seen her smile.
yeah, well, it definitely was the first time she smiled, full face smile. But him knighting her, I feel like was a symbol of, I'm knighting you 1-1, but the Night King with an N is going to take her for her size. Like, any knight can claim another, or any knight can make you a knight. Think about it. When the Night King makes another White Walker, sometimes he makes them a general. He's literally making them a knight as well, too. He's the one that can knight another. And, he comes in the nighttime, it's winter, all that nonsense. I feel like she's going to get killed and taken, which is super sad, but they set it up even for next time. She's clearly outside the wall. So what do you guys think? Do you think that she's going to be taken?
I'm more in the line of thinking she's probably going to go down trying to save Jaime.
Yeah, because she definitely loves Jaime.
Yeah, there's some sort of, like, I don't know, whether it's like kinship or romance, like, between them. But I don't know. I think potentially she could be taken. I think any of the characters that have some sort of closure, like that could potentially mean that they're going to meet their end pretty soon. Just as like
so
as a
many,
viewer.
so many characters
But
had
I
closure
think,
in this episode.
I actually have a different opinion on that scene. So I think that could potentially allude to so by him saying any knight can name another knight, their plan of attack at this point is to take out the Night King in order to like weaken their forces. So I have a feeling that they're going to be focused on the Night King, but really that's not him. He is no one being.
You're saying that a Night King is no one?
Yeah.
That he's also serving the faceless god, and the faceless god asks for no one? That's interesting.
Like, I don't know. I just.
Did you mean to have it mean that, or is
No,
this
I'm
just
just
coming
rolling.
out?
I'm just rolling.
You're like,
with
yeah,
you
that's
said,
exactly. It's
I'm
like
a genius.
half written down to a sweaty palm.
You know
No,
who
I
else has
just-
no face? Ned Stark.
Don't go there.
Okay.
Don't go there. Ned Stark's alive the whole time, and at the end of this, we all die, but we wake up, and the viewer's Rick Grimes, and you go through The Walking Dead. I'm sorry. Continue with your.
No, but so I guess basically what I'm saying is that I feel like they're all kind of the Night King. Not necessarily all of the whites, but maybe his horsemen, or maybe he is not even physically there.
So
maybe he's
you
working
think
into the Night King. I don't know. I feel like
So
it's
you
too
think?
simple.
Let's say they kill whatever we know as the Night King, like he kind of dies, and they're like, yeah, and the walkers are still
they can name another. Like they can
So
name
he can
another
almost,
Night
like,
King.
going to an next
It can be handed off
that
to
his
one of the
power is
horsemen
shared.
or something.
It moves into the next most powerful general or whatever.
Right.
They did make a lot more generals.
They did, and I want to touch base on that the Night King's like, I'm just going to make more strong guys. I'm not going to keep making these brittle bone losers. Going back to what you said about the Night King not being there, we talked a little bit about this without you because you're not in the Cool Kids Club. But you don't see the Night King towards the end of the episode at all, or in the whole episode. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, he was not out front in front of the generals. I expected it to be
Like
Night King in the front and then all the generals behind him.
Yeah.
And he like points. He's like, go, generals,
And it's-
bearded men that I found.
It's funny that they don't bring up any dragons in this one. Arya kind of brings it up during their battle strategy, saying, you know, if we isolate the Night King, can Dragonfire even kill him? And Bran's like, no one knows. I don't know. You're the three-eyed raven. How could you not know this? Just go warg and find out. But they don't bring it up. So I kind of feel that the Night King is smart. And what he's doing, he's flying the ice dragon past them. They haven't seen him, and he made a huge blizzard so they don't see him flying. And he's going further south to raise the army of the defeated people. Think Battle of the Bastards. Think even the battle where Daenerys killed everyone. Imagine he raises the dead behind them and completely flanks them. And literally...
Like Ramsay style surrounds them.
Yeah, why not? He's smart. He's just going to do that. He's just going to make more people. He understands he's going to lose a lot of White Walkers during this battle. Maybe he knows about Valyrian steel and dragonglass and is recalibrating. He's growing his army stronger by flanking them from the rear. So I feel like they're going to have a lot of problems. And Cersei's just going to be sitting back down there like, I'll just wait and then kill everyone. She thinks that she can win every battle. She told Jaime before he left, like, it doesn't matter what type of monsters or men, like, we will always figure out a way.
She's just scarred by like failure and delusion at this point. Like her character, she's just grasping onto whatever little bit of power she has left.
It's not much.
But I think you're right though. That's an interesting theory because it seems too simple otherwise. Like think of fighting the three-eyed raven. Like think of fighting Bran if he didn't suck and he wasn't a cripple and he was badass and he had an army. Like a being that is all-knowing and all-powerful. I don't know. I wonder if like the Night King has similar.
Yeah, Bran
powers.
knows that he's marked, and he says, "Look, the Night King's coming for me. So put me in a field somewhere, and let's lure him out that way." Which begs the question: why don't you just cut off Bran's arm and throw it in a field, and then just wait for him to be like, "I knew you'd be here. Damn it, it's his arm. I'm about to die, aren't I?" And just kind of trick him.
You can let Jaime do it.
Yeah, exactly. Jaime's good at having one arm.
Yeah, and making Bran lose body parts.
Wait a minute, I just thought of something. Daenerys made fun of Jaime, right, in the council scene, saying that you only have one hand. Someone made fun of him for saying he only has one hand.
She did that.
She did, right? Yeah. What's really funny is every king and queen also only have one hand. One hand of the king or queen. So him losing his hand symbol. But good guy Jorah, when she was lambasting Tyrion for getting things wrong and saying, you're just trying to protect your family, you're next, and dismissing him, she was cutting off her hand as well, too. The same thing she made fun of Jaime for not having. She's metaphysically, whatever, words. She was cutting off her hand as well, too. But good guy Jorah having the other hand, like he should have been the real hand of the queen, he kind of was aware and was like, look, I know it should have been me, but he's awesome. And also forgive Jaime. So I think without him, there's going to be problems in the future. So I don't want him to die because I think he's the only one that can get through Daenerys' skull.
He's the only one that she trusts.
Yeah, so I feel like if he dies in this episode and Jon lives as well too, talking about the elephant in the room that we haven't even said yet, her kind of knowing that he's Aegon Targaryen, I think I think Jon Snow over here, I think Jeff's happy that it happened in this episode and that it wasn't this like Fuller House type of situation.
John made me proud. He did what I would have done in that situation.
And he's just tell her.
Just go. Just tell. Like, whatever.
And he did it in such a good way. Like in the beginning while they're planning, at the end, she looks at him like, and he's like, don't even look at me. And he walked away and he led her to him and she found him in the crypts near the end of the episode, right? And she's like, who's that? And that's Lyanna Stark. And he tells the whole story and she's like, that would make you a claim to the throne. And she looked at him like he was an enemy.
Yeah.
She gave him that look like, you're next after this, you son of a bitch.
Well, you could see her like mind begin to unravel, I think. And
Yeah.
that's we know that's a weakness of hers. That she isn't the most rational ruler.
Well,
I think love's going to pull through in the end.
oh, come on, man. You're going to really hit us with Captain Planet right now?
I honestly, I think that she's going to look past that.
Well, let's talk about the song, right? You brought up a good point before we started recording about the song.
Oh, yeah, the Jenny song. So that song was, I don't remember the dude's name. It was like Gorbo Targaryen or something.
That's correct. I'm looking it up right now. It's Gorbo Targaryen.
Her great uncle Gorbo Targaryen, who had a claim to the throne, was supposed to get married to somebody for political reasons. And that was part of him taking the throne. He decided to get with the girl that he loved and give up the throne instead of lead the Targaryens or lead the entire world. So the idea is it's kind of like foreshadowing for what Daenerys and Jon might be into at the end of this.
Well, let's get to some theories right now. Some theories. Dale, hit us with a theory.
All right, how far out can I go?
You can go as far out as you want. Okay. I don't know if we're going to be paying attention.
Okay, so as far as a resolution with Jon and Daenerys, I think that potentially, I think Jon's going to die. I think Jon's going to die, and that's what's going to change
He's
Daenerys.
blessed by the Lord of Light. He'll just come back.
But again, like the Red Woman said, maybe his part to play was just to unite everyone and inspire everyone in that way and deliver a kingdom for Dany to rule.
So you
and
think
she will be
Aegon
changed by him.
Targaryen's job is to unite the realms through someone else? Like he's uniting through death.
Right. Like almost like he's a martyr. He died for a cause.
But Daenerys can't have children. So if he dies, she's the last Targaryen. She can no longer mother children because she gave that up through blood magic when she was married to Dovahkiin, or whatever his name
Aquaman.
is. Aquaman. When she married Aquaman, she engaged in blood magic to save him and the kid, and now she's a barren wasteland. That's why she considers the dragons her kids. She's aware of that. So if she doesn't step down or Jon Snow doesn't live, the realm's fucked.
But what if Jon gets her pregnant beforehand? Maybe she's already pregnant.
She's barren.
But I think that he was maybe cursed by blood magic too at one point.
So you think that his magic
Because he
sword,
was resurrected, yeah.
So his magic sword can cut through the blood magic, and when he thrusts, he strikes true. Is this metaphor working?
Sure,
Okay.
yeah, we'll go with that.
So his sword is blessed by the Lord of Light. That makes sense. Think of the guy with the eye patch. He turns his sword flaming.
Uh-huh.
That's Jon's sword as well, too.
Right.
Yep.
Next
theory.
My darkest theory is that they lose Winterfell. And I'm not going to predict who dies and everything because most people are probably going to die. But so the whole idea with Cersei coming through, she's going to come up the back. So basically, you're gonna have everybody trying to defend the wall, fighting off the White Walkers, yada yada. They're gonna start to lose. They're gonna start to lose hard. The people fighting for the wall, not the White Walkers.
Okay.
And then Cersei's gonna show up from behind, like, all right, I'm just gonna go pick off the stragglers, and she's gonna see that there's like 100-1 White Walker to people left, and realize, okay, I need to help them defeat the White Walkers. And then after the White Walkers are defeated, she's just gonna kill everybody. And then
How are they?
hold the
How is she going to even help to kill White Walkers? She hasn't even made one piece of dragonglass weaponry. The mountains is going to come help her.
Yeah, he's gonna pick up the Night King and rip him in half, or she's gonna use her dragon mouth to.
Just to yell at everyone. Hey, I'm the queen. All right, she's the queen. Now I have a terrible theory, but I think that we're going to get Dark Souls'd. And here's what that means. In the first Dark Souls, I'm not explaining anything, there was a trinket. And the original boss of the game was driven mad, was driven mad trying to get this trinket. The community can choose a starting equipment, and it was a useless trinket. It says this trinket is useless. So the whole community for years were trying to figure out what this is, and it turns out it literally had no purpose. It was driving the community mad, just like the boss in that game. So we as the viewers want to see who sits on that Iron Throne, right? We're being driven mad to see just like everyone else. Daenerys is like, oh, I'm sitting on the throne. And Cersei's like, I'm already sitting on the throne. We want to see who gets on the throne. So if it was collectively no one, we don't get to see it. And the series just kind of ends with this whole battle. This battle and everything takes place over a long period of time because it can cut to the battle. It can cut to what Cersei's doing. It can cut between a whole lot right now. And towards the end, it'd be really shitty. But over the battle overhead, like you can see that they're losing, almost like an Inception dreidel type thing, where it slowly kind of goes out and pans out over the battle. We have no idea what's going on. We're like, no, how could you do this to us? But I think it'd be a terrible way to end it. But we could get Dark Souls here. Well, do we got any more theories or anything else you want to touch on?
There's one more thing that I wanted to bring it up.
Oh, okay.
So Tyrion, the only one that...
Which one's Tyrion?
The cool one.
Okay,
the cool,
good.
smart guy.
Makes sense.
He spent some time with Bran, and we don't know what Bran shares with him, but potentially maybe Tyrion knows also that about Aegon and Lyanna.
Or you think Bran, yep. Bran told him everything?
We don't know. And I think the fact that we don't know, I think that could mean that he does know. And if that's the case, imagine the way that Daenerys feels now about her claim to the throne being questioned, and then Tyrion coming to her with that information. That's what I mean. I feel like Tyrion maybe isn't safe. Because he's just going to...
Safe from who?
From Daenerys' wrath. Like, he may be demoted. She may feel like he is betraying her.
Well, I want to give a special shout out to Sheila right now. She had a good idea that, let's say there was a positive resolution to this and that humanity wins. Remember the scene with Sansa with Daenerys has like her hand over her. It's like, sweetheart, don't worry. And Sansa's like, I'm so intelligent, you can't defeat me. She was saying, what about the North? We're not going to bend the knee anymore. And she's like, oh, no. What if everyone wins and Daenerys is like, I can't believe you're going to be the king. But Jon Snow says, you're already my queen. I bent the knee. No one really has to know about this. And she's taken back and everything. Knowing that, because she's smart too, knowing that the North won't bend the knee to her, she's like, as long as there's a Targaryen ruling over that, we're fine. So she makes Jon the king in the North. He stays as the king of the North, and she's just the queen of Westeros, and he's the king of the North. Why not? Could be that simple, right?
I really like that.
Yep.
That was Sheila's idea?
No, it was mine.
I said that last week.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, sucks to be you, Sheila. The whole world knows.
So I said something similar where she would basically tell everybody that Jon would be like, yeah, I'm your king. Sure. And Daenerys would really rule with him kind of ruling and would just keep the North on board.
Okay. Well, it was a lot to take in for the episode.
Ghost showed up, which was cool. I just wanted to mention that.
There was a ghost in the episode?
Ghost, the wolf.
It's Wolf.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean a wolf showed
And
up?
I don't know what the wolf's role in this whole fight is, but I hope they keep it away from.
I got nothing else. Anyone want to cover anything?
No, I think I'm good.
Well, does anyone have a song they want to sing?
Actually, I do.
Oh, okay.
High in the halls of the kings who are gone, Jenny would dance with her gold.